Hello, everyone. So I'm setting up here to get everything ready for my friend Lisa, who's stopping on over to give us a couple of tips on how she stays healthy, fit, and feeling good for the day. And I chose her because I thought she had a great way of keeping a healthy diet that helped her feel energized and fit, but still allowed herself a little wiggle room to have some fun nights out and to really enjoy her life. So I thought these might give you some suggestions to kind of spark some new ideas of things that you can add into your life. And remember, with any type of suggestions in diet, you may need to talk with a physician if you're noticing some underlying issues or root problems that you need to address. If you keep switching things up and your energy is still lacking and you're just not feeling as healthy and that optimum health that you'd like to have. All right, so let's jump in and see what she has to say.
And a cup of coffee, very strong coffee in the morning with only organic turbinado sugar. Usually we use the brown sugar, but this is all we have on hand today. Oh, one note also in the morning, each morning when I wake up, I have a cup of warm water that I heat just so it's just warm enough, not tea hot, but just warm water with a squeeze of half a lemon. Start
That is
that
a
way.
perfect way to start to get the digestion going. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So, and then you said Hudson, your son and husband, what do they typically eat?
Oh, I forgot to bring the grapefruit. Hudson eats a half of a grapefruit every morning, which is unusual for a child that's only 4.5 years old. But he loves the ruby red grapefruit. If you're trying to get your child to eat grapefruit, I'd suggest the ruby red because it's a little sweeter. And so then, because sometimes they're too tart.
Yes.
But the ruby red is nice and
I
sweet.
love that. It's
Hudson
my
loves it.
favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. She's really good about saying low sugar with a lot of the stuff too, which I think is so fantastic too, which I love about her diet.
I keep a very low sugar diet for Hudson as well.
Yes.
For snacks and things, I don't give him a lot of sugar. I try not to.
Okay, great. And then lunch. What is a typical lunch look like for you?
A typical lunch for me is tabbouleh. I love tabbouleh because it has all the herbs and the different things that you eat, the olive oil, garlic, so
Yeah,
for your
it's ready to
skin.
go.
And I just have tabbouleh and cheese and a little bit of pita bread, wheat pita bread
Great.
for lunch. I also use this, the reason I brought it is I also use it for salad dressings. If you mix a tablespoon of tabbouleh with some olive oil and lemon, or with balsamic instead of the lemon, it really sims up your salad a lot.
Great.
Yeah.
Love that.
Oh, also I use it on my sandwiches when I eat
Like a
sandwich.
spread.
Yeah, if I eat because I don't
Great.
like mayonnaise, so I'll typically do a spread of hummus on my sandwich and a spread of tabbouleh on my sandwich with chicken and cheese.
Great.
So this to me is you have to have this.
We are a full Trader Joe's advertisement today.
We are.
It just happened, but you can't, these things are all relatively inexpensive to find and it can be found at pretty much all the stores. Okay, great. And then here I see some broccoli. Is this usually a dinner?
Okay,
item?
for dinner, this is where I shine. Is at dinner time.
Yes.
We have a lot of salmon and a lot of chicken. I would say that that's our two proteins we eat more than anything else in the house. And then chicken. For instance, tonight we're going to have a grilled salmon, and I'm just going to season that with some olive oil and oregano and a little bit of garlic, salt and pepper. And then I'm going to take the organic Tuscan kale, and I'm going to saute that in a little bit of chicken broth and olive oil and garlic. And then when that gets tender, I'm going to mix in some lentils, some brown lentils.
Nice.
Also from Trader Joe's. They're really
Great.
easy. You steam them in the back for 3 minutes in the microwave. Yes, I use a microwave. And mix
We'll work
those
on
together.
that.
Yeah. And sometimes, just so Hudson's happy, I start with a couple slices of bacon.
Oh, nice.
The unsulfured,
Yes.
no sulfites, uncured bacon
Yep.
from Trader Joe's, and I will cook 2 pieces of bacon and cook the kale in that bacon grease, which I think is okay to have that kind of fat every once in a while,
It's totally fine.
and adds such a nice flavor.
And I was just going to say with the kale is so good for you. If you can kind of look at the back and see like the vitamin A, vitamin C, it's like so much more charged than even like a spinach. You just have to watch. This can be hard to digest. So like how Lisa's cooking it a little. If you're going to eat it raw, you want to do like a massaged kale salad where you kind of scrunch it and try to wilt it a little bit because that starts the digestion a little bit for it. So keep that in mind, but this is fantastic and it's like ready to go. It's already cut and
See, I didn't
Good.
know that about the kale. See?
Yeah.
She knows things.
Hey.
She knows things. Another thing that we had, like last night for dinner, we had the harvest grains. Now this has in it Israeli-style couscous, orzo, garbanzo beans, and quinoa. We eat a lot of quinoa in our house. This I just try to do so that Hudson and Jeff feel like I'm mixing it up every once in a while
yes.
in the grain department. And I cooked this with some chicken broth again, always using organic. You can use low sodium if you feel it's too salty. And sometimes what I like to do is to take this and mix it in with a salad if you have leftovers. You take a cup of this and mix it in with a spinach salad, and it really
Right. gives
gives that spinach salad a little extra oomph to it.
Love it. I've never tried these, so I'm gonna try this now.
Oh, another thing I like to put in my salad is pine nuts. And all I do is I take the pine nuts and I put them in a pan
Yeah.
on the oven, no oil, just let them cook in their, just put them on the oven, on the stovetop on medium for a few minutes, let them brown, and then toss it in the salad, give it a little crunch.
I love pine nuts. Okay, I see some garlic and some spices. Oh,
Oh.
what were you gonna say?
This is what, yes, when we do have chicken, one of my favorite ways to marinate the chicken is to take some olive oil, garlic, oregano, salt, pepper, and about a half of the container or a third of the container of the dry, of the Dijon mustard. It's the grainy mustard. And you mix that all together, add a squeeze of lemon, and it coats the chicken and it keeps it really tender and moist. And last night I made it and Hudson said, "Oh, Mommy, this chicken is the best chicken you've ever made." So trust me, they'll like it, they'll think you're a gourmet.
And this you put in the oven?
You can you can bake it in the oven. I bake it in the oven, but Jeff grills. So
Okay.
last night I made my husband grill. And it tastes just as good on the grill.
Great, great.
Oh, and also for dinner, this is a nighttime staple almost. But I like to take my broccoli and roast it in the oven. And I just cut all the florets, toss it in a little bit of olive oil, a little salt and pepper, and bake and roast it at 375 for about 20 minutes.
Great. I love that. I love that, and cauliflower, roasting it.
So
It's
good.
so delicious.
It changes the flavor.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nutty flavor.
I love that. Okay, great. And then nuts, you said is a nice snack for you. Is that what you said?
Yes, we have a lot of almonds in our house. With these in particular, I like to take these and I toss them with a little bit of olive oil. By the way, olive oil I would say is the most consumed item in our house. I use it for everything. And I believe in it. I think it's good for your skin. It's a good fat, so I use a lot of olive oil. I should buy stock. But I take the almonds, I toss them in a little bit of olive oil, some cayenne pepper, a little bit of dried rosemary, but you can use a rosemary sprig, and a little dash of brown sugar. And it gives it a really great flavor.
Sounds
You
delicious.
roast them in the oven
Yes.
at 375 for about 20 minutes. Sometimes you can go up to 400. It kind of depends on how brown you want them.
Yeah.
But it's good to prepare this when guests are coming over and put them in a little bowl with a sprig of rosemary.
Love it.
Yes.
And I'm a huge fan of olive oil. Now, I'll just point out that I've started much less cooking with olive oil because it's not as stable once it's cooked. It can go a little rancid, and so I tend to use it on salads and everything more. So something like that, you could experiment even butter, like cooking it in butter.
Everything tastes better.
Tastes great in butter, and it can go to much higher temperature. Coconut oil and butter and ghee, which is clarified butter, can go to super high temperatures where olive oil is a little bit more fragile. So, but it's a great source.
I have to try ghee. I've never tried
Yes,
that before.
I have it inside. You can try it. Okay, and then snap peas, just a great snack.
I put these in Hudson's lunch. I try to make sure that every day in his lunch he has a fruit and a vegetable. So I'll do the small Persian cucumber slice or some carrot sticks, but he actually requested the sugar snap peas. So I just put them in just like this.
Great.
Oh,
Just kind of eat them plain.
I think your kids will eat how you train them to
Yes,
eat. And
yes.
so I don't do a lot of dips and things because he's allergic to hummus, I found out.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You're going to tell us.
He's allergic to sesame seeds, and the key component in hummus is tahini, which is made from
Yes.
sesame seeds. So if you need to make hummus without sesame seeds, all you do is you use olive oil, a lot of garlic, and a lot of lemon and some salt, and that's it. You just blend it together. It's so easy.
That's it. So do you drain it? You drain it?
I drain them. I
Okay.
drain them. I don't, I drain them and rinse them, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's nice to use the
A little bit of the liquid too.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Keep it moist.
That's lovely. I'm going to try that actually. Okay, wonderful. Well, I think these are some great things. Thank you so much, Lisa, for
Thanks for
coming and
having me.
doing this. And let me know if you guys have any questions with this stuff, but I think there's some really great ideas for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Pantry.